Congratulations for taking the first step to solving your slow money blues. My name is Doug, retired U.S. Marine and two-time combat veteran turned entrepreneur at your service. Today's episode is Clutch Gene. Once again, we're going to have another dynamic show. If you have any family, friends, or coworkers that are suffering from slow money blues, tell them to tune in right now. They can check us out on Facebook, they can check us out on YouTube, and they can check us out on Twitter, streaming live. The audio podcast drops tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you'll have access to all types of goodies. To ask any questions, visit slowmoneyblues.com and click on Ask or submit your question on IG, Facebook, or Twitter using hashtag SlowMoneyBlues. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 ways to develop your clutch genes, so you definitely want to make sure you're in a quiet place and take copious notes. But before we continue, I have a question. Did you do your homework? Last week's homework was very simple. Tune into this week's episode. So if you're tuning in right now, guess what? You are doing your homework. And hopefully, as I'm looking at my board right here, we talked about let freedom ring. Hey, did you write your own declaration and your own personal constitution? And also, did you sing your own anthem? If you didn't, you might want to do that, and then you can let freedom ring. Now, one of the favorite parts of the show is always inspiring my listeners and my viewers to say and declare their morning mantra. So if you haven't said it today, let's do it together. Say, I state your full name, take 100% responsibility and accountability for my decisions and actions. I refuse to blame others. If I do, I give away all of my power, authority, and power given to me by God. Hey, we're changing up our format just a little bit. In fact, we're going to be launching a brand new website, because we are going into season 6 in about 2 weeks. May drop you a bonus episode before we actually do that. And so this probably will be the last time you hear me reading about our sponsors, and then you'll be able to go to slowmoneyblues.com/ whatever we're going to call it, because I don't know exactly what I want to call it just yet. But today's poll question is this: are you clutch under pressure? Yes, no, or never thought about it. He played 16 seasons in the NBA as a power and small forward. He won 7 NBA titles with 3 different teams and never lost in the NBA Finals. That alone is amazing all by itself. He holds 2 NBA records, which remain to this day. Most 3-point shots made in an NBA playoff game without a single miss, and most steals in an NBA Finals game. This person should be in the NBA Hall of Fame, right? Let's get personal. Robert Big Shot Bob Horry is not in the NBA Hall of Fame yet. However, when it counted most, Big Shot Bob was clutch. Just ask all the players, coaches, and teams he defeated at the buzzer. 3 ways to develop your clutch gene. Number 1, determine and discover your purpose. That is very interesting, because what I have discovered over the course of my life on this earth is that most people do not know their purpose. But let me digress. Let's first define what purpose means. Purpose is the reason something was created and exists. For example, right now, I am talking to you through a camera. The camera's whole purpose is to record me, whether that be through live streaming or through still or through videography. That's what the purpose of the camera is. It's nothing more, nothing less. So if that is the purpose of the camera, and the only reason that the camera has this purpose is based upon how it was created. If you understand anything about a camera it mimics the human eye, and it mimics the movement. So as I'm sitting vertical right now, I can see everything as I'm supposed to see it. But if I was to turn my head like so, I'm not going to see everything the way I'm supposed to see it vertically, because I've just turned my head or tilted my head to the right. And the intended purpose is for me to see everything with absolute perfect clarity. We call it 20/20 vision. That is what the creator of the camera designed the camera to do, to have perfect clarity, and present a perfect picture and capture that image in real time so that it can be placed obviously on a website, on social media, or maybe in a book, or maybe a poster. There's innumerable ways to use the photograph. But really, the purpose of the camera is just simply to capture a moment in time with clarity. That is the purpose. Why am I saying all that? I'm saying all that because most people are unfulfilled because they have not determined and discovered their purpose, and they're just literally wandering aimlessly. And because of that, when big moments in life come, and trust you me, big moments in life will come for everyone. When the pressure is on and it's building up, you heard this saying lately, pressure produces diamonds. Does it really? I don't know. Unless we're all cold and after being pressurized for so many years, we turn to diamonds. I really don't know, because so many people collapse under pressure. But the reason they collapse under purpose is because they have not discovered and determined their purpose. Now, if you've been rocking with me for any amount of time, big shout out to my people over in France. If you've been rocking with me, you know that my purpose is to inspire every person I meet to pursue their calling, passion, and purpose, do it with excellence, and live a legendary life.
That was easy.
It wasn't easy, but trust you me, it took me some time to discover my purpose. And once I discovered my purpose, I determined to do my purpose. So if you ever meet me in the marketplace, chances are you're going to be like, hey, are you a motivational speaker? Because I'm feeling really good about myself. Or you could just say something like, how are you doing? I'll say something like this: I'm doing exceptionally well, but better now that I have met you. Because I understand my purpose, now I can walk in my power. And I live a fulfilled life each and every day that I am breathing. Point number 2 on how to develop your clutch gene. Develop your tag. If you don't know what tag is, it's not the game I'm talking about. We were kids and we would run around and tag each other, or do the new kind of high-tech, high-touch way where you're playing laser tag. No, I'm talking about your talents, abilities, and gifts. Because when these things are aligned, when your purpose is aligned with your talents and your abilities and gift, oh my goodness, the possibilities are limitless. You must develop. Now, it takes tremendous focus and it takes tremendous discipline to master your tag, to develop your tag. But it is imperative if you want to develop your clutch gene. That way, when the big moments come, because you have discovered and determined your purpose, you have developed and disciplined yourself in pursuit of your tag, guess what's going to happen? When the big moments come and the lights are shining brightest, guess what? You don't shrink under pressure. Do you remember the NBA Finals, since we were talking about Robert Horry? And no, Robert Horry, I don't think was even still in the league in 2016. But Kyrie Irving playing right alongside who? LeBron James. And remember, they had that historic comeback and they beat the Warriors. And Kyrie came down and hit that clutch 3-point shot. I mean, he just pulled up and it was on, guess who? Steph Curry. On Chef Curry. Probably the best 3-point shooter in NBA history. In the clutch, Kyrie pulled up, knocked down the 3, and cemented his legacy in NBA Finals folklore. Point number 3 on how to develop your clutch gene. Practice relentlessly. My tongue is a little tied. Practice relentlessly. If you recall, I talked about this guy named Robert Keith Horry, also known as Big Shot Bob, because Big Shot Bob, oh my goodness, in the clutch. And I'm talking about in the NBA playoffs and the NBA finals, they call him Big Shot Bob is because he made the shot in the biggest moments when the lights were the brightest. And you know why? Because although Big Shot Bob in some instances wasn't a starter, he practiced relentlessly. So when the big moments came, Big Shot Bob was bigger than the moment. And he was prepared for the moment because he practiced relentlessly. And so he could be trusted. And he did this with 3 different NBA teams, broke a lot of people's hearts, sent a lot of people home without an NBA championship. And Big Shot Bob has 7 NBA championships. He is probably the only player that has that many titles that never played for the Boston Celtics from the 1950s and the 1960s. Can you believe that? Big Shot Bob. So what do we talk about? 3 ways to develop your clutch gene. 1, determine and discover your purpose. 2, develop and discipline your tag, your talents, abilities, and gifts. And 3, practice relentlessly. I'm going to say it like this. Practice, 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 practice. You may have heard of this very famous comedian. Her name is Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball would spend hours and hours upon hours in the mirror perfecting her comedic craft. You may have heard of this other comedian, Richard Pryor, another comedian, Dave Chappelle. All of these people, when you see them at the height of their powers, is because they practice relentlessly. And they practice so much that when the lights were the brightest and the stage was the biggest, everybody wanted to come out and see them perform at the highest of heights. And each and every time they nailed it. Now, what is the biggest takeaway from today's show? Thank you for asking. Being clutch in the spotlight only happens with relentless practice in the dark. What is next week's homework? Well, I want you to tune in to next week's episode. And guess what we're going to be talking about? Should I leave you in suspense? I think I'll leave you in suspense this week because I want you to definitely tune in. Until next time, I want you to continue to build, launch, and grow your very own personal freedom success system. And I won't see you at the top, but I will see you where? Over the top. Have an amazing Tuesday and rest of your week. Bye.